It's the world famous late night grin.
It's a historic night, folks, a special occasion. Late night grin, maybe the biggest night in late night grin history. And that's saying something, right? We've had some big ones. LNG 100, the many golden grinnies, so on and so forth.
Sorry, Joe.
But
I
tonight,
thought I'd make it back from the piano in time, but I was late.
You sounded great, man. That's the best. You can tell you've been putting time in. Because I remember, we'll talk about it off the LNG, Hall of Fame, history awaits. Can you imagine across the globe right now how many wrestlers are tuned in, waiting to see their fate, waiting to see if they made it, if they made the cut into the LNG Hall of Fame? As it's a special occasion, we've got quite the lineup for you, folks. Look at the screen right now. I mean, it's outrageous. It's big business. Brainbuster, how are you this evening?
I'm good. You know, throughout the day, I wasn't really feeling the giddiness, I guess, that I expected to feel.
Giddiness.
But then that intro, dude, that intro was, I mean, quite frankly, gorgeous. So, you know, let's fucking go, fellas. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one, certainly. You can feel it. You feel the atmosphere. Confirmed shoot. I know you've been nervous all week, right? Just pondering the results, the potential possibilities as to who we're putting our name to here. How you feeling, mate?
Big night for me. I'll just say in advance that I'm honored. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, I left a basketball game at halftime tonight so that I could be here in time for this glorious occasion. It wasn't just because it was a 20-plus point ball game and I had already watched the team I cared about play. It was because I needed to be here for the late night grin.
So true.
What episode is this? The 153. It's on the screen actually for me. I don't know where I was going with that bit. Bobby, how are you doing?
I don't even.
I'm doing well, man. How was the basketball?
The first half was interesting, and then we just kind of took over the game. So
nice. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here. I have a 6-leg parlay that 3 legs are through, and the other 3 are still alive. So I'm going to be focusing on that. But it's a good night.
Please follow your local gambling laws. The Late Night Grin does not condone illegal gambling. And please do not place bets that you cannot afford to lose.
That's right.
We've had former Grin members that we're not going to name that no longer have homes because of bets they've made. Please bet responsibly.
Come on, man.
Until we get a sponsor, and then
there was no need to reference Jack. He's missed one show. It's just unnecessary. Yeah. Caden Lee, it was a real gamble when I brought you on this platform. I'm still kind of wondering if I made the right choice. How are you this evening?
You know, Joe, I placed a bet today. Unfortunately, put a little bit too much money on, and so my house is being foreclosed this week. We're gonna see how that goes. But I'm doing good.
Did you lose your tie?
Yeah. It was taken from me. The bank actually came to my house and they knocked on the door and they pulled the tie off and they said, "We're coming back for your house in 3 days," and called me some really mean things that Brainbuster has said to me a few times.
Jesus!
It was a friendly occasion.
I was having a rough little afternoon, and then I go on Twitter and I see this gorgeous rendition of "Good Riddance" by one of my favorite bands, Green Day. And I started pumping my fist. I started swerving all over I-35, and I was locked in.
Thank you, Caden Lee. I'll be intrigued. Yes, Matt?
Let's say, speaking of gambling, Novi appears to have lost his podcasting equipment.
Yeah.
They took it from me. They said I wasn't good enough at podcasting.
Jesus.
Are you okay?
Sometimes
Good
man?
someone
set.
said it.
Well, guess what?
I didn't
Guess
think
what,
Monk
Joe?
would go that far.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But look, I'm mobile. I'm in Kentucky. It's a wonderful time. My mic's probably terrible at the moment. But guess what? I'm
2001
here.
radio call in from Novi here. What did you
Look,
think of the
look,
game,
look.
son?
I've embraced the Kentucky-ness. I went up on a hill. I rode a 4x4 and I shot some guns. And now I'm here on the late night grin. And I'm going to shoot Brainbuster next. It's going to be
Whoa,
great.
what is happening?
Hate
Dude,
crime.
What did I do?
Buster is getting pulled in all sorts of trouble here. Now,
Fuck,
folks,
man.
if you're worried about how young Novi sounds, don't worry. I informed him before the show that he can only speak when spoken to on this program. He is here.
I'm also terrified of opening the chat, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay. He's here for facial responses. He's going to be working to the people here. There you go. Good stuff, Novi. It'll be good on the screenshots. Hello, the Oracle of Wrestling.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know this pro wrestling thing?
No.
I've heard about it, yeah.
So, I've heard rumors that before 1998 it was actually good, but I've seen no evidence of that.
So you enjoyed SmackDown, is what you're telling me?
So, well, I was on the phone with some people, and about 8:30, I had, I tuned in a little bit and sort of turned on something called the USA Network. And then a little while after I turned it on, Piper Niven and Selena Vega began having a work rate match, so I took a shower instead because I did not want to watch that.
It's pretty good in the end, to be honest, but fair enough.
And then I, watched Phil Brooks try his hardest to make people care about a match that no one cares about.
Phil Brooks.
And yeah.
So you enjoyed it, is what you're telling me? Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, beautiful. Rice Man, this, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong because I'm getting very old, is your first appearance on the flagship. Am I correct, Rice Man?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
It is. However, you've been a presence on the flagship previously because we've had the shows where your graphics have kind of carried us through the program. Lest we forget, Golden Grinny's LNG 50, and that is going to be the case here this evening. Rice Man and Tope have been working diligently on a collaboration here in which they're going to, they've put together some wonderful stuff for the show tonight. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Rice, how are you this evening, brother?
I'm great, brother. Appreciate it. Kind of feel like Brownie James tonight with a stack lineup. Feel like I'm just here because I know some people, but fired up. Also got a little Dax vibes without Cash here, Tope. Like can't book one without the other, but you decided to do that.
It's for the best. It's for the best. It's for the best. It's
yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I wouldn't worry about not being up to them. I mean, look at Novi over there. I mean, the standard's not as high as you think. You know what I'm saying? It really isn't. But we are thrilled to be here, folks. We hope you're having a wonderful Friday night. And we hope to ease you into the weekend here with some grins. As you can imagine, this show is going to be very, very silly. We're going to discuss it here as we go. And before we get into it, our guy for hard here has sent us a hefty super chat. Now, I'm not an expert on the currency conversion here, but I believe that to be a significant amount of money.
I know what it is, but I don't know if you
Joe,
know.
I do have Middle Eastern origin.
$120.
Yeah, it's 120.
Well, Brainbuster, this, I mean, for your card exploits, this is big business, isn't it?
I'm not getting paid
packs
for
are we
this,
getting? No, bro, because it's a lump sum.
Right. I don't know,
Keep
man.
going.
I'm gonna have to splurge. I have a card show in May again, so I'll probably just have to save it. Maybe.
I am full Buster in gorilla position that this show we're not going to be credited for financially. It's going to go to Tope and Rice Fan. And Buster just left the stream yard. I was looking at Shoot the whole time there, like, how long does he give me on this before he strikes? But
I was gonna leave,
bro.
and then
pause for a second?
I wasn't here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we can't pause.
Look at Novi.
I know. He's doing a hell of a job with those facial expressions. You got to give it to him. Doing a hell of a job. He's doing a great. You're doing a great job. Oh, we appreciate you, bro, very, very much. Thank you for the support.
This no pay thing that's something, but I'm not going to miss my own induction, so I'm staying.
Remember Jim Ross' magic formula?
No. Yes.
Remember the pay? Yeah, of course you do. That's like you've brought this up to me many times. What do I ask? I have a magic formula, and we will all benefit from that super chat. The show does not have its own worth. It's divided, boys. Don't worry about it, all right?
Okay. Don't give Novi any of it. Look at him.
Novi's not getting any money this month. It's too much last month. Way too much. We have to balance things out, Novi. It was a little bit much.
Yeah.
We all agreed. Matt, did you hear what they did, by the way? Did you hear what they did to me, these arseholes, the young guns? No. I pay everyone out. They had a fucking meeting, like the clique, and decided, compared payouts so they could hang it over my head. Wow. Yeah. They're going to unionize next.
I assume that Novi's on a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is kind of funny that he has the best picture quality of all.
Yeah.
Hold on.
The mic not so much, though,
Well, yeah, the mic's terrible, but we don't want to hear you anyway, so it works.
Oracle.
Oh, that's worse.
Right. Look the exact same.
What happened?
What was that sound?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. It was fascinating.
Uh-oh.
Bobby, look at Bobby's face.
It might have been because Caden hadn't talked for a second, so his mic did the stupid
Okay.
Caden Lee's fault. Good call. Always a good resolution. 6 says here, accept my induction in the Hall of Fame. As CM Punk once said, there's always next year. 6, we love you. Hope you're having a great night. Appreciate being a member for 6 months. Was that the confirmed shoot they put on the screen?
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad it was you because it was one of the young kids. I'd have pulled rank there on the air.
I tend to try to only put super chats on the screen, but
I've
we're getting into messages that weren't paid for, so fuck them. Like, I don't give a fuck about this member shit.
Meech has been a member for 4 months. He says this no pay message has been brought to you. Okay, what is this bit? This J-Mont bit? Do you guys know what this is?
No.
I do.
I can guess.
I mean, but is it something we can talk about on the air? Because
Probably not.
Meech is making it a public thing, and I don't really know what it is.
He asked ChatGPT to describe
that's what it was.
Grin and then the Young Lions, and it was pretty funny.
Do you have that on hand?
I can get it. It's in the Discord. Just give me one moment here.
Okay, that's where it comes from. I didn't know if it was something that begun before that. We have 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it, really, all this? Okay, there you go. Thank you, Meech, for being a member. He says, keep putting in the work, Novi. There you go, Novi. Meech is on your side, mate. Bob's going to give us this in a moment here. Now, folks, we have, by the end of the night, we have different wings tonight, of course, right? That sounded much more exciting than the wings of the Hall of Fame, I should say. We have 2 modern grapplers. We have an It Used to Be Better representative. We have a tag team, and we also have a Grinner, which is not, believe it or not, those of you in the chat. Not those of you in the chat. It is an on-air talent, an LNG superstar, as we now know them on the Gold Discord. So that's what's ahead of us here this evening. We're going to work through it gradually.
It's crazy.
Independent contractors.
Performers.
Yeah. LNG universe favorites.
Podcast entertainers.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
What was the term that Roman used? Remember Roman had that term he came up with for what wrestlers should be called? Oh, Bobby, help me on this.
God.
It was
what was it? It was something really funny.
Oh shit. If anyone in the chat has it, please. Okay. Bobby, have you sent this to me, right?
Yeah, I sent it on X, the Everything app.
Okay, this is what and I've never used the chat GPT gimmick, but this is what it came back with. The Late Night Grin is a wrestling-focused podcast and content platform that features a mix of watch-alongs, reviews, discussions, and general nonsense in the best way possible about professional wrestling. It's known for its laid-back, often hilarious vibe, with hosts who are passionate fans of the sport, first lie there, frequently blending inside jokes, chaotic banter, and genuine love for wrestling history. One of the recurring figures on the Late Night Grin is Bob O'Neill, who's known for his deadpan humor, outlandish takes, and willingness to fully commit to the bit. If Bob is watching WrestleMania 19 on the Grin, chances are high he'll go on a passionate rant about how Brock Lesnar nearly killed himself with the shooting star press, or he'll declare Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan a 5-star classic just to pop the boys. That's definitely a Manny thing that they're like,
Yeah.
expect wild claims, nostalgia-fueled talent tangents, yes sir, and maybe even a hot dog break. No clue on the hot dog.
No, and they're doing it
No
though.
clue.
True.
Lasagna, maybe.
Yeah. They went on the Jaymont thing. I don't understand it. They called Jaymont a young gun. They described Dukes as, and I quote, the fan favorite rookie with sharp wit and growing wrestling knowledge. Known for this is actually like legitimately terrifying. Known for being constantly roasted for his youth and PG era upbringing.
Oh Jesus!
It did say that he's known for bringing high energy though. So,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, I'm just looking. This is all horrifying. It also says the older crew, Joe Holbert, the confirmed shoot, and the Oracle of Wrestling often mentor and roast them in equal measures, creating a dynamic that's both hilarious and fun to watch.
Wow.
The Young Lions moniker is a nod to New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is a real thing. This is this like legitimately? We're having fun here and laughing. This is horrifying, right? This is terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fun.
Did it mention Jack Crosby?
It didn't. No, it didn't. That's a nice text for us to send in the morning. Okay, we found it. Here's the term: performance fighters.
Oh yes,
performance fighters.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's tremendous stuff.
Tape got very mad this week about WWE calling their matches fights.
Wait, what?
Apparently, do they call them fights now? Because Tape got mad about it.
Wait, boys, what match did they call a fight? It must have been like one match. It can't have. They don't do it often, I don't think.
I gotta find this now.
Please do. By the way, we're setting the stage for this show the way we should. You know? we only have 5 inductions, man. We got to grab a hold, settle in.
It's nothing better than randomly bringing up Tape on this program.
Yeah, just reading things from our phones.
Joe, forgive me for speaking out of turn.
Oh, Jesus.
What? Who the fuck changed my name to Jaymont? Who did that? Which one of you fuckers did it?
That was me.
Definitely the confirmed shit.
Come on, guys. I'm just balling out here, all right? I'm laying down, okay? Jeez.
All right, there you
Tape
go.
posts too much.
All right, while Matt does that, I'm going to stress something. For those of you who didn't see the induction gimmick, the nominee gimmick, I should say, it's important that we stress. Okay, go on.
This is from Tape Machines, the legend.
Yeah.
On March 17th at 4:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Daylight Time. Excuse me. Is it? Wait, is it standard or daylight?
Reading like it's a crime report.
Daylight time. It's EDT.
Thank you. I know it'll work for youths who will get raised on it being this way and become the norm and standard, and it won't bother almost anyone else who doesn't pointlessly overthink things. But calling an average wrestling match a fight will never not smack of insecurity and dork acidness to me.
Dork
Fascinating.
acidness.
I wonder what that's in reference to.
I don't know. It's a very, very small thing that I'm not losing sleep over, but I always just kind of cringe when it's said. Just lame to me. I don't think he's wrong.
Do you remember when Tape he refused to rate Alexa and Candice out of respect?
He fucking rules.
He's reviewing the match and he's sort of setting the stage, you know, and he just at one point he just goes, "Yeah, this isn't much good, but you know what are you gonna do? You can't."
Hey, shoot! Did you see that I friended you on Blue Sky like 2 months ago and then never went back on there?
Yeah. I think I'm like the only person that follows.
I gotta say, I'm big on Oracle using the phrase "friended you on." That was some throwback shit, dude. I love it.
Oracle, I will say that tonight on the Blue Sky, a Liv Morgan Stan post got reposted on my timeline, so I think it's just a matter of time Like Butterfly's coming, folks. Get ready. When Elon Musk goes to jail soon, it's gonna be
just Liv Morgan stands everywhere, just running wild, high-fiving each other. Owen he's been a member for 6 months. There you go. I'm happy to see these messages, guys. Confirmed shooters not, but I am. He says, having trouble here. How should I show my appreciation for this video? That is a great question. I wish I had a good answer. Bob, do you have an answer that isn't money? Which is a great answer. But Bob, do you have one?
Yeah, Owen, that actually is a great question. What you could do is smash that like button. It's first time. So odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, etc.
Listen, bro, if someone hits that thing they come on. I mean, you got to be screen recorded at that point just for the pop. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the grins through 6 months, bro. Very much appreciate you. So as I was saying.
Wait.
Yes.
Why has Meech only been a member for 4 months?
He said he forgot to sign up. He forgot to sign up, he said. He didn't realize he wasn't signed up. Because Meech doesn't watch the shows, he just supports from afar, right?
That's fair. Well, Meech forgetting is believable, so.
Yeah, he is like 76 years old or something.
Yeah.
So.
True.
Yeah. Nonetheless, I want to stress again for anyone who doesn't know what this is not a Hall of Fame about how many titles a guy won, about how they did at the box office, about their match catalog. None of it. This is about...
Calm down, J-Mont.
A professional wrestler's stature and significance in the land of grins. That's what this is about tonight, folks. We had over 100 ballots. The LNG Gold members had their say.
Look at Novi. I got him with that
one. We had over 100 ballots. LNG Gold members had their say. So here's what I'm saying by this. Whatever these results are tonight, if you're mad about them, these faces, these beautiful faces on your screen are not the ones to blame. We're Dave in this situation, Yep. We just give the ballot, and the masses do their thing with it. I just want to stress that here. Because look,
what was in the Observer this week? Speaking of Dave,
I didn't read it this week because I was off today. I only read it when I work.
That's fair. Bob had the audacity to try to dunk on me. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Someone didn't read the Observer. Don't fuck yourself.
Gloss over Bob saying he only reads the Observer when he needs to kill time at work. But that's also awesome. Wasn't on the clock, bro. I don't need to read it. That's tremendous. So, again, that's the key. And it also should be noted, Rice Man's the exception here because, of course, he made our wonderful graphics and videos and such. The lads don't know who's going in the hall. Like, when I play these videos to announce the inductees as we go, when we come back, you're going to see their reaction raw and uncut. Now, there's a kind of quirk on the end of that for our main event this evening, but we'll get to that later. Okay. Also should mention that the aforementioned videos and graphics and such that Rice and Topo produce, we'll be tweeting those throughout the night. Remember the law of the Golden Grinnies? We're going to at every son of a gun. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson received 4 mentions on the night of the Golden Grinnies. We hashtagged it with Phil the Mana, whoever it is. We're running it back tonight. So we need everyone. We need everyone that's watching this to be locked in on socials. Just keep the thing moving. What I want to do with this show, guys, I want people that follow a couple of us to be going at their time and going, what the fuck are these idiots doing over there? I'm seeing all of these screenshots and so on and so forth. So that's the plan. And with all that out of the way.
How's that any different than normal?
What do you mean?
Like, isn't that how they react anyway?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to be posting the clips that we're going to play on the show are going to be posted on the social. Like it's SmackDown, if you will, We don't usually do that, right? Like when we previewed Forbidden Door last year, I didn't sort of go, right, let me tweet out this Osprey take, We're filling the feed, man. We're filling the feed. Yeah, well.
Think where we'd be now.
Tired. Every day I think about if they didn't ban the thing where you can stream straight to Twitter, I think we'd have mansions. Yeah. Remember the numbers we used to do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just look up at the top left, it was like 1,000. We'd just be like, God.
There's a clip. Awesome. I think it's from LNG 100.
Yeah.
Where Shoot goes, the number up there is like scaring me. And then you asked how much it was. And Shoot goes like 400 something. And Bob goes, what the fuck? It's so funny, dude.
LNG 100 was a hell of a deal, bro. We built that for a month. Yeah. Shame about what happened since, really. All right, but we did use that blueprint to master our new specialty show, which is talking about ourselves. Okay. With all this out of the way, I think we can get started, boys. I think we can start having some conversation about the Hall of Fame. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to split the modern inductees.
What is it?
Our main event is going to be the Grinner. We'll start with one of the modern ones. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go around the room here. Obviously, Riceman, again, you're excluded from this because you're fully aware. Buster, if I said to you, you put your name to one modern candidate, who would you have the most confidence in seeing when we reveal these things here?
Like specifically for Late Night Grin, probably Carl, right? Carl Anderson.
Machine Gun Carl Anderson is Buster's prediction. Confirm shoot. What are you feeling?
Dax Harwood.
And I will note that the first reveal we're about to do here received more votes than anyone else in this process. I want to note that. Bobby, who you got, mate? Chat, give us your predictions too. Go for it, Bob. Sorry. CM Punk, big player in LNG history, no doubt. Caden Lee, what you feeling?
Yeah, I'm leaning with Buster here, the machine gun, Carl Anderson.
My goodness. Some confidence in old Uncle Gunka here. Novi, feel free to unmute yourself for your...
No. Try again.
Oh, is he going to do like a... Oh, he's doing good physical... Good stuff, Novi. Innovative.
Stop calling him that. Look, his name is
I'm not doing the Jamon thing. It's dangerous. It feels scary. Feels like I'm going to get fined at my other gig. I don't like it.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that's what the reference was.
So last one I was like, what is it? And because I saw it on the chat, but I didn't know if it was a bit before that. You know what I'm saying? The Oracle of Wrestling, who are you feeling here for Modern Wing, brother?
Well, considering I don't remember everyone who was nominated,
I had that problem too.
I'm just going to go with CM Punk because I like him, you know?
Yeah. Is that Phil guy you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
I like him too. All right, before we go any further here, we do have a new member. You like this one, Matt, right? This is money.
Yeah.
New member, Rick of the Lion. We're big New Japan guys around these parts,
Sure.
you know that, right? It's just big. We have another one coming up next week, right? We're going to do Sakura Genesis. Yeah.
I think it might be the week after that.
2 weeks, yeah. Thank you, Rick. I hope you enjoy the grins. I can't see what tier you're at because StreamYard doesn't tell me, even though I think in the chat it will say what tier you're at, which is silly. But...
Grinner Circle.
Oh, baby. Big dog out the gate here. No easing in. Let's go for it. Okay, I love it. All right, folks. Thank you, Rick. It is time to find out our first inductee in LNG Hall of Fame history. The Modern Wing is about to get started. And with that, I send it away to a wonderful video by Tope and Riceman. Here we go. While some know her as 5 Feet of Fury or the Goddess, around these parts she's simply Lexi, all caps. Since day one, Alexa Bliss has been a constant in LNG lore, regardless of the era or incarnation. That goes for LNG as well as Lexi, all caps, herself, going from an eerie figure with a doll to a mild-mannered lady, also with a doll, entering to those iconic words of stand up, shut up, and fight me.
Stand up, shut up, and fight me.
Last August, the many Lexi, all caps, references paid off with Grin Grappler, leading the lads to their most popular episode yet. Most recently, Bliss returned at the Royal Rumble, concluding a brief chapter that validated the entire conversation, receiving an electric response from 70,000 strong. The Grinners were similarly united, with Lexi, all caps, receiving a vote on almost 50% of our ballots. One of the most popular wrestlers of her era, the Real World Tag League icon remains a genuine star, even 9 years after her main roster debut. Late Night Grin is proud to welcome Alexa Bliss into the LNG Hall of Fame, introducing our modern wing to Lily and a whole lot of lore. My God,
Holy
We should
shit.
have seen that coming.
Yeah.
almost 50%, dude. Most votes of any category, any wing. We'll
Wow.
go through those numbers as we go, but
You know,
big business, boys. Big business.
genuinely, what are the odds that we'd have the first Late Night Grin Hall of Fame night? We've got 2 inductees from Columbus, Ohio.
That is magical.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's kind
crazy.
of powerful stuff, really. You should stop with the spoilers, but nonetheless, Bob O'Neill, a special moment. Certainly, I can see tears emerging in your eyes there, mate. How you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't believe I overlooked her when I was making my pick. She's just as important to this platform as anyone. You know, the 24-hour Grinathon, the Lily doll in Vegas, Grin Grappler, like you mentioned in the video. Just the right choice.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that in the voiceover. Great point, Bobby. The fueling a 24-hour stream, quite extraordinary, really. But such is the power of Lexi All Caps. Confirmed shoot. A proud day for Columbus, as you said, mate. Correct?
Yeah. I assume from now on I'm going to have this day off every year, which is cool. It'll be a holiday here in the city.
Yeah.
I really should. As soon as the graphic came up, I was like, yeah, we should have seen that coming. I don't know what we were thinking. In our defense, half the people on the screen are very washed. So I'll let you figure that out, but a couple of them are obvious.
Tremendous stuff. And, Rice Man, the reveal graphics are just fabulous. We're going to be seeing more of those through the night. How quickly was that like your route of attack in this deal? Because as soon as I saw one, and there's one we'll get to later that I saw and yelled laughing at, how did that thing come together?
A lot of it, yeah. I don't know. Working with Tope, it's like way easier because he kind of gave me an outline of what he needed, and essentially all he needed me to do was have a reveal and a transition. And after I did the little intro, intro bit with the glowing, I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this. And obviously you said go with the color. And then I wanted to originally do the Lexi bit, which you were kind of hesitant about. And then Tope was like, no, I'm definitely going to do like a little spooky static version. I was like, oh, hell yeah, brother.
That was perfect. Yeah. I didn't want us, because look, folks, the reality is by the end of this night, I don't think I'm giving any spoilers. So this thing is going to look ridiculous enough that it's going to land in some crazy hands. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And if we exclusively, the graphic just said Lexi, people would think we were doing like a parasocial shoot name thing because it's a bit from like 2021. It's a J.J. Williams bit. We should note that. We'll give some lore here for those of you that are new to the Grin.
That's true. I forgot that.
We were doing a bit at the time about what Alexa's independent wrestling name would be. And JJ came up with Lexi all caps, but we always wrote all caps with it. Like it was never just Lexi. like she was going to go work like, Stardom or something. Good times. Caden Lee, how you feeling about our first inductee, brother?
Yeah, I'm really happy for her. She got that big pop at the Rumble, as you mentioned a little bit in that video. And, I don't know what's going on with Unc Howd and that whole business, but she deserves everything. She deserves the world. She's truly like,
it was aggressive.
I respect, I just have an insane amount of respect for Lexi all caps.
That was very sincere, wasn't it? You think you're on Fightful again or something? That was very nice. Okay. Yep, tremendous stuff. Powerful way to start the evening. Those iconic words, Oracle, stand up, sharp, and fight me. How often in the streets do people come up to you and say, please sing it to us? Does it happen a lot, Oracle?
I think it happens probably once every week for me.
And I reckon it used to be more too when she was using it regularly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Honestly, the funniest part of that whole thing was you deadpan reading Real World Tag League.
What a stupid platform.
I can't believe we didn't.
We're just getting started, man.
Right. We should have picked her. Carl, I think was the other one that I think was but yeah, Lexi makes the most sense.
And we should note there is another modern grappler that's going to get in. So I'm going to do that much later. We're going to spread them out, but the most votes of any wing, any category, goes to Alexa Bliss. Chi-Town Spurs here. Lexi, MF Doom, two all-cap icons who have dominated their chosen field.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You said it. You said it, not me, brother. A magical way to start our evening, folks. All right, now I'm going to put
Joe, did you see me nod my head like I even know who MF Doom is?
You don't even know by just the name?
No.
Really? That does surprise. Jimmy, that does surprise me.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a pretty cool guy, man.
Thank you.
I remember when the last Pusha T album came out, and you and I were live texting about it for half an hour. It was a good day.
Yeah.
Good times. Anyway,
I
enough
listen
about
to that
us.
sometimes.
Oh, it's a great album. Anyway, enough about Pusha T. I'm going to put the ball in your court here, boys. What would you like to... I didn't even hear what you said again.
Cut out.
I think you cut it for all of us, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter. It's not funny now. Probably wasn't funny originally, so.
So, God, this show's fucking insane, dude. I'm putting the ball in your court, boys. Should we do it used to be better next, or should we do tag team?
Tag team.
Yeah, let's do tag team.
Yeah, tag team.
Tag team.
Now, we should know tag team can be either modern, can be old school. There was an incredible range of candidates, including, lest we forget, the aforementioned Tag League icons. Bliss Cross were up for nomination here. Oracle, who are you feeling in this tag team wing, brother?
FTR?
The FTR is Oracle's very confident pick. Oracle, very, very confident.
Yeah.
Novi, do you have a physical gesture you'd like to make to clue us in?
What's up?
He's agreeing with Oracle, I think, is what he's doing. He's pointing at Caden, but I think he's saying he agrees with Oracle. Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. Caden Lee, who you got, mate?
I gotta stick with my Machine Gun Carl Anderson one and go with the Good Brothers, or as Bob calls them, the Great Brothers.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah,
Great
he changed it.
Yeah.
Are you back to the Bad Brothers?
They're just the okay brothers now.
Oh,
The okay brothers.
Okay.
That's really catchy, bro. I call them the okay brothers.
That might be worse than the Bad Brothers.
Yeah, it definitely is. Bobby, who are you picking, mate?
FTR.
The FTR, get another pick here. Confirm shoot, who you got?
It better fucking be the FTR.
Buster, you also taking the FTR, or you taking the Great Brothers? Okay.
FTR makes the most sense.
All right, well, no further ado. Let's find out who's headed in to the tag team wing of the LNG Hall of Fame. Here we go, boys. Destined for multiple Hall of Fames in the coming years, it's only right that Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler kick off the LNG Hall of Fame's tag team wing in style. After all, this will likely be their only Hall of Fame induction that's officially listed as the FTR, our platform's very own Bret Hart tribute spot. In late 2021, Confirmed Shoot described the team as everything he loves about pro wrestling, and did only reiterate that status in the year that followed. The FTR's trilogy with the Briscoes would steal all three of Ring of Honor's 2022 pay-per-views, notably giving a special moment to LNG's first WrestleMania weekend. Pairing those classics with singles exploits, Harwood's 2022 was great enough that he came up approximately 192 times on our 24-hour charity stream, forcefully campaigning for his Wrestler of the Year candidacy. As Collision captains, FTR would keep LNG afloat in their part-time era, with Harwood later announcing the revival in March 2024. Wheeler's own brilliance shouldn't go understated either, becoming half our roster's favourite wrestler along the way, fueling entire TVs with his electric hot tag. We are delighted to welcome the FTR into the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame, launching our tag team wing with 2 living legends. It felt inevitable, didn't it really? It did feel inevitable. Buster, was it last week? You did Cage Match Chronicles, right? The FTR. Pretty good, huh? Pretty good.
I would say, I think, I mean, has to be the greatest tag team of all time in my opinion. Maybe Briscoes are in there. But, yeah, I mean, synonymous with Late Night Grin as well, obviously. I was in that video package. I was in the dog collar. I was on the hard cam, brother. I was there.
Damn. There you go.
Lore. Hell yeah.
Does that make you a Hall of Famer?
No.
Damn it.
The stars slowly coming up across the top of the graphic popped me huge.
Yes.
As did crediting JJ for the photos. We're now ahead of half of professional wrestling on that front.
Dude, those are some beautiful photos, man. Like, all of JJ's shots are gorgeous, but for some reason, the FTR, he's got like a catalog of great ones, man. Yeah, absolutely. Tremendous stuff, Matt.
Shot too. That was beautiful.
A beauty.
Very well
Matt,
done.
It's a proud day for you, I feel, right?
It is. I feel vindicated. I don't know why, but I do. I love the FTR, man. They are.
So do I, dude.
They're everything great about professional wrestling, or whatever the fuck I said.
You know what's going to happen? I'm eventually going to get bored enough that I go back and find what it is that you said.
And
it's not. It's going to be. It's going to be something completely different. Like, it's inevitable. Bob, this could be a very proud day for you, but you famously turned your back on the FTR when they left the World Wrestling Federation in 2020. Torn right now. I'm wondering how you feel.
No, I'm actually one of the people who did not do that. I didn't do it when they were looking like they were going to leave. I actually am really happy that this happened. Feels like just yesterday I was sitting there watching them lose a comedy match to Ryder and Hawkins and ruining my WrestleMania experience. And look at them now. They're Hall of Famers.
I have to say, and I look, I have my own, issues with WrestleMania memories. I get haunted often. And I have a great deal of sympathy for what you experienced that night. But how much of it you focus on that match has always been of immense entertainment. Because it was a pre-show tag and you knew they were going to win.
Yeah.
So the fact you always cite that as a heinous act, it pops me immensely, dude.
However, Bobby, what did you do that no one else did after the show?
I did. I was able to just get in my car and drive back instead of waiting for an Uber or, train because I'm an adult. Plan things out.
He fucking loves eating. One of Bob's most thrilled fucking bits. Some of the ones we feed Bob, he's hesitant. That one, he's gleeful. He dives into it. Loves every minute of it. All right, tremendous stuff. Caden Lee, the FTR. You were on the Cage Match Chronicles, right?
Yeah, I was there.
What do you make of it? Fair inductees, right?
Yeah, 100%. They're fair. As someone who started watching, right as they were starting to do some absolute bullshit up on the main roster, getting to see the run, as I was getting to see their evolution as I started getting into hardcore wrestling and starting to actually be able to do what they should do in AEW is such a special experience that I got to have, and really made me fall in love with tag team wrestling in a way that I just didn't before. So yeah, they're amazing.
I honestly, and I've said this before, when I watched their NXT tags, I'd never seen tag team wrestling like that before. Because I hadn't seen the stuff they were bringing back to life. I hadn't seen it.
Reviving, maybe you would
Reviving, say? Thank you, Matt. Yeah, and it's
you know what? They were also reimagining it too, because they were modernizing. They proved that you could have actual Southern style, traditional style tag wrestling with the modern in-ring work.
and they were stealing the show on takeovers, which were these big, bombastic, booming shows, and they were having the best match on those shows often. And I think it's actually, they've been around long enough now. I mean, we're now 10 years removed from like the year they became a thing, right? Like a real thing. I know they formed in 2014. Confirm, shoot, you okay?
Bob just turned his head. I assumed to look at the television. Then he got a big, goofy smile on his face, and I'm fascinated to know what happened.
We got another leg down because UConn covered, so we got
Fucking go.
We're cooking, man.
Wow.
If Bob wins money while on the air, that's actually going to be a pretty cool moment.
Pretty
we need
cool, yeah.
Michigan State minus 16.5 and Oregon minus 6.5.
Okay, folks, lock in.
Keep us updated, Bobby.
I will.
Matt, please, throughout the night, remind me. It's just checking on Bob on that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, 10 years ago, 2015 was when FTR won the tag straps in NXT. So at this point, I think a lot of the stuff they did is taken for granted. But it was a real thing. And like Oracle, you just said, it was... We hadn't seen tag matches like that specifically in a very long time, right?
I remember, because they had a bad main roster run, injuries, booking, all sorts of things. But I'll never forget, in their last significant match, the main roster,
Yep.
they had a ladder match with the New Day. It was like literally 4 stars.
Yeah.
They
worked
just
so
literally
hard.
murdered each other
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes. It was incredible. I don't know. It's just that's a match that always stands with me with them more than any other. Like honestly, more than any other match.
He should, because what it symbolized was important. They knew they were leaving, but their effort in that match suggested that they were still trying desperately to make this WWE thing work. That sums them up, right? I mean, I said about the cash wheel thing fueling TVs, and I say this with love to the people on some of those shows. Some of those collisions, like last year, maybe 2 years ago now, not 2 years, last year. It was legitimately just like waiting to get to the FTR match because you knew they were going to work so hard to make that thing work. And that's the way, like, to me, their effort and their engine is what stands out. Rice, man, I'm sure this was a fun time, right? Seeing the FTR go in here, brother. How you feeling on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to be as articulate as you guys are, but I didn't watch a lot of their WWF run, but ever since they came to the Fleet, they've been easily the best tag team I've ever seen. And prior to them coming, I thought it was the Young Bucks, which shows you how deep my tag team knowledge is. But yeah, they 100% deserve, not even just on, like you said, their match catalog, but what they meant to the Grin, especially with Dax coming for LNG 100, which that was emotional as that was. But yeah, 100% deserved.
I mean, look, you say about lacking knowledge for those two picks. Don't get twisted. In 20 years, those two teams will be cited in that conversation. No, whether you've watched 100 tag teams or 2, they'll be brought up, no doubt about it. And that'll be a debate forever and ever, and that's fine. It ain't one I'll be taking part in. I gave up on that years ago, and I will not be doing it in 20 years, but it's a real thing. So, yeah, I think it's fine. All right, the FTR in the books. I should note, in its second in our tag team wing was indeed the aforementioned Great Brothers, or OK Brothers if you're Bob. They received 31% of the votes. FTR, by comparison, with 43%. In at third, the Briscoes with 18%. I should have also, I mentioned it, she had the most. Alexa Bliss had 47% of the votes. Now, obviously, slightly different with the modern wing because she got 2 votes, right? But 47% of the ballots featured an Alexa Bliss vote. So, that is our tag team, the FTR. Big business, no doubt. And with that in mind, it's now time that we take a step back in history, a step through time, if you will, and we look at the days when it used to be better, dare I say.
Wow.
A wing to celebrate the greats of yesteryear. The rules for this are very loose, so there are some people... There was some nominee for this one that actually wrestled on TNA a week ago. It's the late night Grin. This is not a platform about rules, right? We're doing our thing.
Who wrestled on TNA?
Chavo. They did a TV in El Paso, and he worked it. And he used the TV time to take a shot at Dominic to try and get himself a big Fed run. Legend. All right. When it comes to the used to be better wing here, Oracle, who are you thinking for the? I'm sure you have more just off the top of your head. I'm sure you have the whole list. You're scanning it in your mind. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking either Funk or Bach.
Certainly 2 Hall of Fame level guys, right? 2 titans of the ring. Certainly. Okay, fair enough. Nova, have you got any physical gestures here? Or what? That appears to a dangerous turn there. What is that one?
Is that Batista? Was he nominated?
Shoot, it's Bunkwinkle.
Okay.
Oh, that was Shoot.
Got it.
Fascinating guy.
Why didn't you just
Caden
like?
Lee. Caden Lee, who you got?
I gotta go Bockwinkel. I think it makes so much sense.
Wow, a lot of confidence here. Bobby, are you on board with this? You think there's going to be a twist in the towel? Oh,
Nope,
wow.
I also think it's going to be Buckwinkle.
Brainbuster, you on board?
Yeah, because I can't think of anybody else.
All right, tremendous stuff. Confirm shoot. I guess are you as confident as the lads are here?
No.
No.
Given how history of voting goes for me, I would assume that it's anyone but Bockwinkel. I don't even remember who else is nominated. But,
I don't either. I don't think I voted for him though.
Yeah, sounds all right.
I mean, the thing is that it's just, and I'm not trying to out you here, Matt, but you have been texting me a lot about, like, can you give me an update on the vote? And I said, I can't spoil anything, right? And you've been you have been aggressive, Matt. You got to admit.
Yeah, well, I tried to get exit polling. Nobody did it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm fully prepared to be disappointed and let down by the chat yet again.
As is tradition, a great late night Grin tradition. Speaking of great traditions,
we should put that in the Hall of Fame. And just me getting let down by the chat.
Speaking of great traditions, something that certainly would belong in a Hall of Fame. Bob, do you have a tip for anyone who's wondering how they can support the show here?
Yeah, you can go ahead and smash that like button. If you did it the first time, this is your second time, you're going to have to do it one more time. But if you weren't here the first time, that's an odd number. So,
Yep.
Can you do the odd numbers again?
Yeah, it's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 11, 13, 15, 17, 19.
Somebody made that joke in the chat earlier. I stole that.
Okay.
Onward.
There you go. You heard the man, folks. I mean, I said this on one of the shows, but I was doing a recipe for a show, Monty, and he goes, I need to figure out a way to get people to like the videos. And I was just sitting there thinking, if only you had the tool of Bob O'Neill, the weaponry at your disposal. Just a lock to get those likes, just an absolute guarantee. All right, boys. Here we go. It's time to find out who's going to represent us when it comes to when it used to be better. The LNG Hall of Fame wing used to be better. Who's going in? Let's find out together. Here we go, boys.
The face of Confirmed Shoot Enterprises, Nick Bockwinkel has been LNG's unofficial symbol of excellence for years now. The wrestling legend dominated conversation upon Late Night Grin's return, becoming Shoot's only weakness in the It Used to Be Better war. Bockwinkel previously appeared as part of LNG Main Event, regularly being cited for his unmatched longevity and slick personality. While much of his physical prime didn't make tape, Bockwinkel aged gracefully enough to still build a catalog worthy of GOAT contention, including a classic with Kurt hitting at almost 54 years old. That match is mentioned once every 6 weeks or so, but it isn't alone, with Bockwinkel also coming up on Grin Grappler a time or two. His endorsement of a young Bryan Danielson may be a personal one seed in terms of LNG talking points, though, with Bockwinkel being an outlier in his acceptance of the new generation. In addition, Bockwinkel represented professional wrestling like no other, putting on such a masterclass on Dick Pomerantz talk show that it warranted 15 minutes of conversation on the flagship. With almost double the votes of his It Used to Be Better runner-up, we're delighted to induct Nick Bockwinkel into the LNG Hall of Fame.
This is a very silly show, doing very silly things, but I watched that video and I went, that was sincerely a very nice piece of business.
It was, yeah.
And look, we've not got a big platform here. I think there are people watching this show that know of Nick Bockwinkel because of our nonsense. And if that's the case, and chat, tell if that's the case, that makes this whole thing worth it. I think it was this whole journey had to happen. How did we find a guy that sounded so much like Confirmed Shoot? Matt, do you have any intel on it? Was that a twin or something?
All I can say is that I spent that entire video package reaching out to my lawyer. There will be a lawsuit filed because I don't know who the fuck that was.
It was weird, yeah.
They did a hell of a job, though. I mean,
really good, yeah.
It's almost like it probably took them 1 or 2 takes. But anyway, this is a very nice moment for me, genuinely. When Joe texted me and told me that Bach was gonna win, I was like, I felt like a personal victory for me.
Yeah.
So, and then I immediately was like, I have to read. I'm reading the video. I don't give a fuck.
That was what happened.
That was tough for Joe's ego.
It was, yeah, because that was the way around it was. You said to me, if Bach wins, I want to do it. And then I said that because I wouldn't have told you that. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
I wouldn't have just spoiled it for you.
Yeah. But yes, this is a rare victory for me on this platform. Thank you, everyone. And good for Nick, man. And yeah, I think you're right. I do think there are people who watch these shows that didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
And if that's my legacy on the Late Night Grin, then I'm happy with it.
It was an incredible song choice from Tope.
It was fucking
smooth.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Very smooth. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The Oracle of Wrestling, Nick Bockwinkel. My God, what a wrestler!
Oh yeah. Bach was a favorite of mine many years ago when I watched the AWA set. And that was, those matches were of him from the ages of 48 to, 57. So
that's actually a really good point. That should have been a selling point, and we probably should have put that in the video. Is that Bach was so good that Oracle and I agree on him.
I've never seen a detractor of Bockwinkel. He's
true.
not.
Yeah.
When it comes to an Oracle, you can speak to this better than I can. When it comes to greatest wrestler ever, his case, the only thing thrown against it is lack of footage. No one picks apart his work.
Right.
Even guys like Flair, like Flair and Brett, if you go greatest wrestler ever, people dissect their stuff, right? And pick apart. Yeah. And we talk about it a lot, so I apologize. It sounds like we're just in a bit here. Parody of that. So, almost 54 years old. And he had maybe the best hour-long wrestling match of all. Unless we forget the lore of the boys, warning Kurt Hennig that he ought to be careful out there because he might be in the prime of his life, but Bockwinkel was a different beast. And Hennig kind of brushing it off and then walking through the curtain, exhausted, barely able to walk, while Bockwinkel just strolled into the locker room casually. It's amazing, man. And again, folks,
into perspective too, because think about somebody like Ric Flair when he was 54 in 2003.
Right. Imagine him having an hour match, yeah.
Imagine, many of our favorite, one of our all-time favorites here, CM Punk.
Yeah.
He's 46 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine he was 7.5 years younger than when Bach was there.
Yeah. And he took Punk, again, one of our favorites, but he took, 7 years out too? It's like, Samoa Joe,
Yeah.
These, I could be wrong. I don't expect these fellas to have classics at 53 years old, and that's okay. No one else should have classics at 53 years old.
Bach and Funk are the two Americans who were great over 50.
Yes, and
amazing over 50.
Yeah.
Genuinely, and in an era before, all this scientific stuff about knowing how to take care of not that all the wrestlers do, but some, how to take care of yourself and, that it's like how we see athletes last longer now. That wasn't a thing back then.
Right, and Terry Funk, incredible, and was a worthy candidate. We'll get to his percentage in a moment, but Bockwinkel's longevity, I'd argue, is even more impressive because Terry evolved into a different type of wrestler. Bockwinkel managed to stay this kind of Rolls Royce classical American wrestler even in his 50s. I mean, it's just absolutely extraordinary.
I don't remember who sent it to me. I assume it's someone in the chat, and I apologize because I don't remember off the top of my head. But someone sent me his match in Japan with Billy Robinson, which is like his second to last match ever, and it fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's just like a 10 minutes. They fucking slap the shit out of each other, and then do a bunch of chain wrestling, and it fucking rules. Well, chain wrestling is not the right term, but it's just it's a good match. Like he was still good in like '92.
The five best wrestlers over 50 that I've seen that I can think of off the top of my head.
Cope,
Bach, Funk, Tenryu,
yeah.
Finley, and
Finley.
Casas. Nego Casas.
There you go. That's a great list. That'd be a fun that'd be a fun special grin along. Like we do that list, but we do their matches over 50 at one match each. That'd be cool.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
Buster, have you seen a lot of Bok?
No, I'm very. I mean, I know I have seen some, but not. I haven't seen it recently enough to even remember what the match was. I've heard the name before watching Late Night Grin, but I didn't know how great he was or how revered he was until I watched the show. Yeah.
We'll have to do a grin along for the Hennig match in particular because that is a marvelous.
That'll be a good setting for that because I don't know if I could sit down and watch an hour-long match alone. No matter how good the match is, really.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it would be a good thing for the audience too, because the reality is, and Buster, you've watched a lot of older stuff, but not all of our audience has. Like, if you've not watched old wrestling, it may take a minute to adjust to that match because you have to work. It's an hour match, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it, I think, would hook us, and if we did a grin along, I think we'd really appreciate it. So maybe we'll put something together in that regard.
My favorite Bach match ever is a match that I do not believe is readily available. But it's on the AWA set, and it is him and Wahoo McDaniel on a fan cam from 1983, and it is unbelievable. It's a bloodbath, and they beat the fucking shit out of each other.
And what was great about Bok too,
I could see his face, like, man, he's like, you gotta.
Yeah, we're going the distance on Bok as we should. What was so brilliant about him was he could be an egotist as a heel. But he could very, very kind of slick in how he would adjust to being a babyface. Because as a babyface, he'd just be a classy champion, right? Yeah. But he's one of those. He's a great example. I think a lot of the best guys are like this. Babyface or heel, they feel like the same person. They just kind of highlight different parts of themselves. As a babyface, he was classy. As a heel, he was a little more arrogant than just classy, right? And so, we talk about the matches a lot. The promos. Go watch some Bockwinkel promos.
Yeah.
Folks.
Those $500 a punch. I watch that promo
Very Lawler feud
every 2 months.
It's one of the best feuds of the 80s. Yeah,
I literally just watched that promo today. The $500 a punch promo.
Tremendous stuff.
You know what the thing about Nick Bockwinkel genuine is his promos didn't seem like promos.
Right.
Like it was just a dude talking to you, but like obviously in a very sophisticated. And he wasn't like a glossy. Like sometimes he would stumble. But it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like now people would be like, oh, they fucked up. But like the way he talked, because it felt like it was an actual, like he didn't feel like he was playing a character. He actually seemed like he was genuinely like that classy of a guy who was also so good that he just thought he was better than everyone else.
Well, that was how he conducted himself.
Yeah.
I mean, the talk show we referenced in that video. I mean, that's another thing worth watching.
Fucking incredible. Bob, you watched that, right?
Yep.
Good insight, Bob. Thank you.
that was the era where it was like every TV show host was desperate to ask wrestlers whether or not wrestling was fake, and Bok navigates it so effortlessly. Go on, Bob.
Yeah, he just talks for like 30 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's in character the whole time.
Tremendous insight too, while still being in character.
We did a Bok match on Jeff Jarrett's Grin Grappler. When Jeff wrestled him as he's very, very young, very early in his career, like 1 year pro maybe. And you get to see Bok put a match together with a guy at that experience level. It's just really interesting. I'm glad we did that. That was really cool.
Was him and Harley against Brody and I'm losing and Hanson, Jesus, in All Japan, that tag match that I know we've watched together. And if you guys, that's on, I believe it's still on YouTube.
Should be, yeah.
It's fucking chaos.
Yeah. It was it is important to note as well that there was more stylistic range there than you may assume, you know.
He would fucking hit, like, if he needed to hit someone, he would fucking hit him, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Dragon's like that, right? Like, I think Dragon... So how long was Dragon dismissed? It's like, oh, he's the mat wrestling guy. It's like, dude, that's not the least interesting thing about Dragon, man. He received 30% of the votes, by the way, Bockwinkel did, which was a distant victor. There was 3 grapplers tied for second. Terry Funk, Sting, and Greg Gagne each received 13% of the votes. Greg has finally made it into the conversations he always strived to be in.
With each other in history.
Yeah. 3 true So the big 4 here was Bock, Funk, Sting, and Greg. That's the magic of the late night Grin, folks, right there. Beautiful stuff. I love it. Okay. Now, folks, you may think we're hurrying through here, but we do know that we have a pretty big piece of business here ahead of us that's going to make up a lot of this second half of the program. And with that in mind, I think it's time we look ahead to our second Modern Wing inductee. Buster, who you thinking, brother? We already got Alexa in. Who's going in next?
I say Punk.
He's saying CM Punk. They're on the same talent agency, aren't they? Those two? No. Alexa,
Oh yeah,
like
they are.
Yeah. God, we're going to have to send them plaques if you're right, Buster. Confirm shoot. Who you got, brother?
It probably is Punk. Danielson or Punk, I would say.
2 votes for Punk. All right. Bobby, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Punk still. Since he was my pick the first time, he did not win, so stick with him.
How's your bets going, Bob?
They're actually going very well, Joe. We'll hopefully have an update after the video.
That was wonderful. Seeing predictions in the chat there. Caden Lee, who you got?
Put the guns on him, Joe. I got to stick with Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
John Alba's in the chat.
Shout out John Alba. We love you, John Alba.
He's part of the Great Gagne lore on this channel.
Yeah, he is actually. Yes. Novi, you still sticking locked in? Oh shit, mixed it up. Same thing. I like it. Oracle, you got Punk here, mate?
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Time to find out our second Modern Wing inductee. Here we go, boys. If you say the name Carl Anderson around these parts, it better come after the iconic Machine Gun moniker. No stranger to accolades, the Machine Gun now adds LNG Hall of Famer to honours such as Tag League legend, Talkin' Shopper Mania headliner, and of course, 2012 G1 finalist. As LNG launched, Anderson was in the midst of some wild times in more ways than one, appearing regularly on AEW TV as an Impact talent. That allowed for absurdly frequent references in the early days, with the Good Brothers WWE return fueling its own victory lap, including an emergency grin-along for the television tilt with Finn Balor. Through ups and downs, the boys have remained constants in LNG conversation, with Gunn even inspiring a coach's game plan for his WWE Speed cameo. Unfazed, Joe and Oracle still followed the lads into battle at the UFC Apex shortly thereafter, embracing those oh-so-bright lights. Now on the verge of a new chapter, Anderson will enter free agency as an LNG Hall of Famer, bringing a whole lot of stories along with him. With extensive tag team exploits, several singles thrillers, and an unusual podcast catalogue, we are delighted to induct the Machine Gun Carl Anderson into the modern wing of the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame.
That made me very happy.
There you go, folks.
That made me very happy.
It was cute, wasn't it? It was cute. Yeah. Machine Gun makes the cut. What a moment. Night. It's a great night. It's a special night. Mm-hmm. What a moment. History. Brainbuster, how you feeling, boss?
It makes the most sense, I think. Like, Punk obviously started this whole thing, but along the way, Carl Anderson, just the sheer amount of bits and then obviously the friendship with him, it makes it he's synonymous. Makes a lot of sense.
Indeed.
And here he is to
hold up, confirm shoot. fellow Bengals fan, brother. This is a big night for that sports club. Where they are football team. Yeah.
I mean it's a testament to the channel that Carl Anderson and Alexa Bliss are our modern wing Hall of Famers.
Sounds like victory to me, brother.
It does, man. It speaks to how much the folks out there love Joe Hobart. So yeah, the speed thing is honestly one of the greatest moments in the history of this channel. It's one of the funniest things you've ever done. I'm happy for Carl. And yes, he is a fellow Bengals fan.
Mm-hmm.
I will speak to him about this moment when we celebrate Super Bowl on this channel next February.
It has to be said, like, the modern wing, what we're telling the people is the late night grid, we respect grapplers to get the bag, We respect the true workers of this sport is what our priority is.
Okada's next year.
Yeah. Okada and Shinsuke double feature, brother. By then, Shin will be on Collision. It'll be beautiful. Bobby,
what's up?
Are you excited to see the gun make? I mean, again, okay, brothers, but still pretty cool, right?
It is very cool. I know he's a favorite of yours. We've never had him on any of our programming, but he deserves to be in anyway. And it's a good thing, man. He's a Hall of Fame brother.
There you go. The Oracle of Wrestling is laughing uproariously. Oracle?
So, I just love Bob's, maybe unintentional, but somewhat passive aggressive.
Yeah, right?
Grin. Oh, shit.
Well, he's never been on our show, but
And did you hear the way he phrased it? I know he's a favorite of yours. Like, oh. In all seriousness, Oracle, that UFC Apex grill, that was so much fun, dude.
There was like a 3-minute period right in the middle of after the hot tag where the big LG hit a sit-out powerbomb. And I think we literally screamed for 2 minutes.
We did indeed. It was very, very cool. Caden Lee, anything you'd like to say about the machine gun making it to the Hall of Fame here?
I had to stick with him, Joe. I stuck with him. I picked him for three in a row, and I finally got there. I'm really excited for the machine gun being there. I got to see his match with John Moxley in person, which was a really special moment for me. And
baby,
I feel good about. I was celebrating. I was pumping my fist as soon as that name came up.
Yeah, right, man. As you know, I'm about to get into more detail. This one went down the wire, and I'll leave it there. I'll get into it more in a second. But was you excited when you got the news that Gunn had made the cut?
Yeah, my heart just filled with joy. I busted out into tears immediately. Said the G1 finalists finally got it done, baby. Here we go. Yeah, love Carl Anderson. Literally just a couple weeks ago, Miss Riceman was predicting the wild card, which is obviously going to be Speedball Bailey. And she said it's that bald guy that's with the other tall bald guy that's with the Young Bucks. And it wasn't him, but hopefully it will be next time. So, yeah, we're big Carl Anderson fans around here.
Yes, we are indeed. Now, folks, we do not have an acceptance speech from Carl Anderson, but we have something that we agreed was far more suitable for this program tonight. As I was going about my day and I was listening to the latest upload from our friends at Talkin' Shop and their new fancy Patreon page. And I heard this thing about Hall of Fame, and I was thinking, that's a very strange coincidence. And it all clicked to me at once what was being referenced. And upon hearing it, the conclusion was reached that we should just play this, actually. There's no need for an official induction speech. We're going to just play this here, folks. So I want you to really think about the significance of this event when you get acceptance speeches like this.
I gotta look something up real quick. I don't like to edit videos or go back and fucking redo things. So I'm just gonna say this right to the camera. I have to accept a Hall of Fame award that was given to me from one of my brothers in the UK. I got voted by his fans of his podcast. I got voted higher than CM Punk, which, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. If you ask me, why would I be surprised? I'm a legend in my own eyes. But I have to go back and figure out what it is, what Hall of Fame I was voted into, so that I can thank him properly. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for the love for the boys.
Am I still here? I got kicked out. Okay, good. Did the video play?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, so I'm sitting there listening to this, and he said the Hall of Fame thing. I was thinking, it's very strange. And then he said I said, hang on a minute, this is the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame. This was posted last night. This is a official spoiler for the damn program.
He posted that on...
Yes. I messaged him. I said, you were talking about this for 15 seconds. I had no fucking clue what you were talking about. And then you said CM Punk. I said, that's the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame. And then we reached the conclusion we should just play it. Fuck doing an official. That's perfect, right? I mean, that's Late Night Grin right there. I don't know what the platform is. I don't know what the show is, but I'm going in the Hall of Fame and I'm overseeing. It doesn't get any more Late Night Grin than that.
Do we have permission to post that? To play that?
Yes, we do. Yes, we reached again. It was a collective conclusion.
Get sued by Luke Gallows.
It was a collective conclusion that it was the right thing to do. It was the better video. I also would like to know that, certainly in a very sincere fashion, Machine Gun Carl Anderson said, and I quote, "That's the greatest honour ever imposed upon me besides being a father." Which I'm not going to tell you that he followed up with LOL after that. I'm just going to just read it straight. That's what he said. So take that as his word. Special occasion. You could tell how much he was moved by it, couldn't you? You could see it. And he was just overcome with emotion.
Some fucking Hall of Fame.
That fucking rules, man.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is so much funnier than him actually doing it. Because it's the fucking Late Night Grin Hall of Fame, you know? So tremendous stuff. Machine Gun in the hall. Dude, StreamYard literally booted me out. That was horrifying. I couldn't see the video.
It might have broke your video for later, Joe. It shows as a black screen for me down there.
Okay. Let me. All right. Good call, mate. Thank you for that. Yeah, it did definitely. All right. Let me fix that, Matt. Fahad, super chat back again.
My God.
Running wild. Wow. Says hell yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Fahad. Firstly, Buster. Confirm shoot. You're in charge. Feel some dead air for a moment. Okay.
Bob, how's the parlay going?
It's over. It hit. So we are fucking rolling.
Let's fucking
boys.
go, dude.
How much did you win? Are you willing to say?
Yes, I won 620. So,
Jesus.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I think
what are you gonna do with the money, Bob?
Probably just save it.
What the fuck?
Well, buy some eggs.
Cocaine. Hookers.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah, it's a good time.
J-Mom perked up when he heard hookers.
Yeah, for that amount, you could buy 3 hours of Novi's time.
Jesus.
Wow.
That was quite aggressive. We should call
Come on, man. I can unmute at some point. I mean, it's not just all going to be facial expressions. Don't
stop it. I muted him.
I can't believe one of us didn't unmute him since we posted.
Is he just muted now permanently if I don't unmute him?
Can he unmute
No.
him? Okay, good. Reactions to that. Joe's been gone on the alarm.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it because I didn't want to push. If I added it, it would pop up. So I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
yes, Machine Gun Cole Anderson. That was very, very fun. It is true also. He beat out CM Punk by 3 votes. Fourth was Samoa Joe, who was 8 votes behind him. So, I mean, quite the occasion here tonight, really. I mean, I think an upset in some regards, right? I think. Yeah. Big business. All right, so we have one final inductee, and I think it's the biggest business we have to handle tonight. We're going to set this up very simply. This is the Grinner wing, which is for, as I said earlier, on-air talent, LNG superstars. And all I'm going to say before we play this is, early this afternoon, a few Grinners entered a StreamYard studio. Matt, yes?
We have to play this video. This is a genuine thing. We have to play this video differently. So when the video starts, everyone please mute yourselves, because if you talk, you will talk over the video.
Yes, absolutely. This will make sense, and it will make more sense afterwards. We're going to just play this. It's pretty long, so bring some packed lunch. Get ready. This is our final inductee here on the LNG Hall of Fame. Okay, give me a moment here, folks. Bear with me. Here we go. Let's give this some sound, and let's rock this thing, and away we go. All right, boys, as the wonderful overlay behind us suggests, it is Hall of Fame season. And I've got you two guys in here at the same time here, early Friday afternoon, to react to a piece of our Hall of Fame presentation. And I sense your response is going to be pretty colourful. So you ready, boys?
I mean, no, but let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Here we go, fellas. I'll hand it over to myself, and away we go. An LNG original, a founding father, Jack Crosby, it is our pleasure to make you the very first inductee into the Grinner wing of the LNG Hall of Fame.
When I was asked to talk about Jack Crosby for the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame, I thought to myself, what is there to say about Jack that hasn't already been said?
Oh, man. What do you even say about someone like Jack Crosby?
What is there to say about Uncle Jackie that hasn't been said?
Jack Crosby is really an invaluable piece to the history of Late Night Grin, a founding father.
Look, I'm not going to pretend to have known Uncle Jack for all my life.
And it turns out there's actually a lot of things, because the vast majority of what we say about Jack is incredibly mean.
Jackie Crosby, a now certified Hall of Famer. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. A well-deserved induction, my friend. And that's just it.
My first show with Jack was 2020, and I didn't really know Jack that well. We were mutuals, but it didn't go beyond that. And it was on Fightful, and Jeremy had to do some work in the meantime. And so as we waited to record, Jack and I just started talking. We'd never spoke before in this way anyway. And next thing I knew, we'd spent 45 minutes analysing the entire wrestling industry, deciding how Ring of Honor could get back to where it needed to be, what was happening in MLW, so on and so forth. And I often reflect back on that and think about how fortunate I was, to have had that moment with him, because for the last 5 years, he's one of my very best friends. I talk to Jack almost every day, and things are better because of that. He's always been there when I needed some help. He's always stuck by me when I made some crazy decisions. I'm very, very thankful to call him a friend.
Just going back to the very first show I did, going back to Fightful, it was me, him, Joe, and Jeremy Lambert doing a WWE draft in the fall of 2020. And, it's kind of crazy to think about, from that show to what this has become. Jack's kind of been as big a part as me getting involved in all this stuff as Joe has. And it's really cool. Obviously, it's a big honor to call Jack a friend.
But in the time I have, I can say for sure, he's an unk you could be proud of.
You're a friend of mine. We met on this kooky platform and kind of got to know each other a little bit more through the Grin. And now, it's rare a day goes by that we don't communicate in some way, some fashion. And whether it's about the shoot life, whether it's about shoot jobs, whether it's about shoot sports, or of course the Sport of Kings, we always seem to have fun doing it. And you're a real one.
Jack Crosby sort of took me under his wing a bit, and while I still don't fully understand why, Jack heard a lack of grap knowledge and needed to get the kids back on the right track. That's how caring of a guy Jack Crosby is.
But I mean, I've only known him a few short months, but in that time, I think it's a testament to his talent that we have really built a Shaq and Kobe like connection. He's a rich man. He comes down to the PC with me and the other young guns, and he teaches us some lessons about the game. He calls Caden a dumb fuck, and then he heads out. I wouldn't really have it any other way.
I mean, I wouldn't know who Candace LeRae is if it wasn't for him.
And that's just off the air. I don't even think about on the air. We're talking about, the MLW show, or the show where maybe he had a few drinks, or just his general ability to connect with and maximize like any combination of grinners. No matter who I put him on with, he's immediately hitting up, doing bits with them and having fun with them, as we've seen a million times over the last 6 months. So he's the best. I love him, and every time I get to share the screen with him is a treat.
Now, this is a guy that, unlike basically everyone else on the Late Night Grin, is an actual adult with a real job and actual responsibilities.
A great both in this odd wrestling space and shoot sports journalism. He is truly one of the most insightful men I've had the privilege to learn from, and I'm incredibly grateful for his guidance. Thank you, Jack. Nobody deserves this prestigious honor more than you.
One of the founding fathers of this platform, obviously. I technically replaced him. He was on the first show after that first Rampage, and then I jumped in the next week because his daughter was born. So, yeah, I mean, no one deserves this more than Jack. One of my best friends, one of the people I talk to the most.
More so than that, I don't know if I could have gotten through all these shows without his energy, and even if he has to go at random times, I know I'm going to enjoy every second he's around.
He played an integral part in the start of the Late Night Grin before quickly becoming a part-time player due to the birth of his beautiful daughter Penelope. But how often he is here plays little part in measuring the impact he's had on this channel. He's a true founding father, and none of us are here without him.
I'm happy to see you've made it this far into the great Late Night Grin Hall of Fame. And so congratulations, my friend. Get out the nice scotch. Get yourself a good cigar. It's time to celebrate.
Always someone there to give you advice or just talk about sports or whatever. And it's an honor to know him, and I'm glad that he is the first inductee into the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame.
Again, I mean, just a founding father, but more importantly, just the greatest tag team partner I've ever had. I mean that sincerely.
I know I can count on him to be there when the Grin needs him most. That's why he's the founding father. Much love, Uncle Jack. Welcome to the hall, and I'll see you at training in the morning.
Jackie, I love you, buddy. I'm proud of you, despite you somehow being both older and younger than me at the same time. Welcome to the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame. You deserve it, buddy.
I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. You got me.
Could you imagine my nerves when you hit me up last night and was like, I can't do tonight? I said, oh, really?
I had so many things prepared too for
Well, it feels like the wrong time for Matt or I to say something because we kind of said what we had to say, but obviously,
that was, guys. Listen, thank you. So you really didn't have to. I love you too. You guys are two of my best friends. You really, really are, and I'm so glad that we get to do this together, even after all these years. We're going almost 5 years now.
Yeah,
and I'm so happy the times I get. And the cool thing is, I know, and thank you for mentioning Penelope in there too. But as she grows up, you guys know I'm able to be around more and more. So that's nice that I'm kind of coming back here and there. But seriously, thank you so much for this. I don't feel like I deserve it, but
you absolutely do.
You do, and you said we didn't have to, but we kind of had to, right?
Yeah,
You
we
couldn't
had to.
start the Grinner wing without Jack Crosby. It felt right, you know.
I mean, there have legitimately been a lot of days where I've talked to you two more than I've talked to her upstairs.
Yeah.
I love
As the person on the other end of that, I believe it.
I've talked to you guys significantly more in a 24-hour day than I have her.
And it's never anything insightful or interesting. It's just killing time.
Nothing important, nothing relatively important to the real world whatsoever.
Yeah,
but we'll spend 5 hours on it.
Of course, as we should, and long may it continue. Matt, anything to add? Again, we kind of set our piece, right, for Jackie, but anything to add, mate?
No, man, you deserve it. This is one of the better setups we've ever done, I think. We pulled it off. Jack had no clue.
I've been terrified for 4 days about this.
I really had no clue. And when you first hit me up about this, I was at the park. I was playing at the park with Penelope, and I was like, yeah, sure.
The thing is, our biggest strength is we do so many silly bits. Jack completely bought that we were going to do what we originally said. Completely believed it. Like, that sounds like something they would do. Yeah.
With that this morning, I'm thinking, all right, wait. It was like 10 a.m. I was like, shit, I got 3 hours. All right, let me start thinking about this, just so I have something.
That somehow makes it funnier.
That's why you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm stressing out trying to do my job with first round of March Madness. Sitting there thinking of what I'm going to say. But that was I'm very appreciative and very grateful that you guys did that. Thank you so much. You two are literally the best, and I can honestly say I don't know what I'd do without you two in my life. I really don't.
Right back at you, bro, buddy. Yeah, absolutely, and big credit. And I'll be saying this during the show, later this evening a lot. But Tope and Rice, man, killed it with those graphics, didn't they? My goodness,
they were good.
Yeah, the one that reveals you. When I got that, I legitimately howled laughing. Like, I couldn't believe what I had in my hands. It was a beauty.
He did a good job. He did a really good job. They were nice.
I had not seen Joe had seen the video. I hadn't seen the video.
Yeah.
So
that was your first time too.
Yeah, I knew about it, but I hadn't seen the video.
Yes. There you go. There you go. Okay, Jack, I'll give you the floor for this last leg here. Anything else you'd like to say to the Grinners out there? And again, it's our pleasure. We're glad to induct you into the Hall of Fame, Jack. Anything you'd like to say, mate?
Just one more thank you to you guys. Again, I know I can't say enough about you two. And thank you to the young guys too. Those guys are really good at this, and bringing them on here was honestly one of the best decisions you ever made, Joe, because they provide a lot of great wrestling content in a world full of bullshit. They provide something that actually has meaning, and they're getting better and better at it every single time they do it. And I love watching, even when I can't join them. I love watching them. So thank you to those guys, and because it's nice to know that I have some kind of impact on them.
Absolutely,
and I have gotten to know all of them. Like, I've helped Caden professionally.
Yeah,
he's trying to get me similar work. I spent some time with him a few weeks ago trying to get him on the right track. Again, in the real world, outside of here. But no, thank you to everybody, and most importantly, thank you to the listeners who, you guys, you force us to do this stuff. Because the more you listen, the more you watch, you force us to just keep pumping these out.
Yes, and to that point, the most viewed non-grin along in LNG Gold history is Jack Crosby Unleashed. There's a fact for you. I looked out the most viewed gold show.
I did not expect that. When you first started telling me, you're like, I think this hit.
Yeah, we need to run it back soon too.
We should do them quarterly now, but they'd be like quarterly special, like Saturday night's main events.
We should try and get one in there before Mania and do a Crosby Unleashed special.
No. I was going to say, we'll do one. Let's try to shoot for one after Mania.
There you go. That works.
It's like look ahead into like let all that nonsense and then go. Okay, what happens from here? But like WWE, AEW,
that works.
Like
you're the boss, bro. You're the Hall of Famer. You're the Hall of Famer around here. MLW. We can talk about that again.
Yeah, you got to change your name.
No,
Jack.
I'm sorry.
You should be LNG Hall of Famer from now on.
I'm sorry, but my favorite show here, and I don't think it'll be topped. It hasn't yet. The MLW stuff would be
it's the best.
Like that.
It's
not just the show itself, but like everything that led to it.
Yes.
The private conversations with me and him watching it, then us hitting you up, and then coming that Nothing will top that night for me. No offense, nothing will top that night.
Yeah.
You talked me into watching that show, and that's how it turned out. And somehow I didn't get mad at you.
I was like, I got fleeced here, where you should have been. You fleeced me into getting fleeced.
That's a great note to close on. There we go. I guess I'm sending this back to. There's like 3 of me in this deal now, right? I guess because now I'm going back to live. But okay, well, either way, folks, we hope you've enjoyed the Hall of Fame. So wherever we're at this point, whoever we know, and I should say this is a good point to remind myself. The result of all of this, the real magic of all of this, is that once every Hall of Fame inductee is revealed, there will be a graphic in which Jack Crosby stands alongside the titans of the sport of professional wrestling. And I'm saying this here while we record to remind myself that it needs to be on the screen at some point. All right, there we go. A huge congratulations, Jack Crosby.
Thanks,
folks.
Jack.
Enjoy what is left of the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. There we go. And look, there isn't much left because once we did that, it was very apparent to me that needs to be the main event, right? You know, we've loved all the folks who went with that to be the main event. But there is something left. I mentioned it there, and I'll hit this here because this is. I think if the Late Night Grin ends tomorrow, I think this image is going to be it's our crown jewel. I feel as here we are delighted to celebrate the 2025 class of the Late Night Grin Hall of Fame. Here they are, folks. Look at them. I mean, we've done some things in our time, but I think this is about the swan. This is where we call it, boys. I think this is about as good as it's going to get. I mean, just glory, just absolute glory. So there we go, boys.
So,
oh man,
you know, it's really funny watching that back that we spent all this time trying to figure out how we were going to set up and explain some of the stuff Jack said in the video. And then we watched it back and I come to realize that he never actually said.
No, he didn't. So we should explain, right? So I messaged Jack early this week and I told him Bob O'Neill is going in the Hall of Fame. I want to record something with you for Bob. And he was delighted. He said, this idea is awesome. He was so fired up about it. And then it was supposed to be last night, and he texted me, I can't do this. And I thought, oh my God, we're going to actually miss this completely. We're going to just play it on the air and send it to him. I was legitimately nervous about it. And I was also nervous about just like it messing up or whatever. The new time slot was this afternoon, Friday afternoon, and Matt was able to join me. And then we had this like full on, and I was panicking, bro. I was like, who's doing what? I didn't want to fuck it up, right? You have one chance to surprise someone. So when Jack came in, we didn't want to be recording because we thought it might make us suspicious because we'd be kind of acting at that point. And we're not, you know, contrary to popular belief, we are not actors. We're not, you know, no matter what you saw on those Hanging with Holbert specials, folks, we are not actors. So we said to him, okay, we're going to be recording in a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to play Bob's video and you and Matt are going to like roast it. Basically, Matt, right, was the idea. That was your call, right?
Statler and Waldorf is what, since we're both old enough.
There you go. Yeah, and he was stressed out because he'd been a busy time at work, because of course it was. And I honestly, and I think it came across in the video because it takes him a while to even realize what's happening. We got him, dude. Like, he did not see it coming at all. And I say Jack Crosby, and he doesn't even react for a bit. Then it sets in, and he's like, oh my God, these arseholes have got me.
the best part to think of, and we didn't do this on purpose, but it turns out that we even pulled a great rib on him because, like, this yesterday and today are two of Jack's busiest days of the year work wise, and we made him spend 2 hours writing stuff about Bob O'Neill that he didn't even get to use.
just sitting sweating bullets thinking about
that sums up Jack too. Is like these are his two busiest days of the year, and he still found time to, one, show up and do that, and two, prepare to say nice things about Bob O'Neill. Which think of how long that would take.
It doesn't happen as much anymore because we've all got shit going on. Like, when we all click on the same topic and we're all going, but there is no, like, it's so much fun. I said what I had to say there, and a few of us did, but Jackie is certainly the man. Oracle, we couldn't quite get our schedules aligned. It's my fault. You was ready to go, and I completely missed that. So we didn't get you featured. But certainly, I'm sure you co-sign Big Jackie making it into the hall, right, mate?
Oh, for sure. I mean, Jack was one of the original 3 guys. And then Penelope was born like a week or 2 later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was actually the night of the first actual Late Night Grin, I think.
She's basically the exact same age as the Late Night Grin.
Yeah. What an honor.
By the way, Oracle, you reminded me when you just said that.
Mm-hmm.
That my favorite part of that video is when Bob declares that he replaced Jack on the platform.
Yep.
And someone in the chat said, "Oh, Bob's making it about himself." In the while Joe and I are watching this happen, we're down on the screen and we can see, and we both threw our hands up when Bob said that.
Here's the thing: it isn't true either. That's not true.
No,
isn't true in the slightest. You just made that up. Did you think it was true when you? Did you think it was true when you said it? Like,
no.
What did you say?
I mean, technically, if we wanted Oracle to replace Jack, I mean, if we want to
That's wonderful. Wonderful stuff. But I was really glad because I couldn't remember it made the air or he did it afterwards. He was very, and I think it came across, he really is very proud of the young guns on this platform.
Yes.
And it's, for those of you watching this, what is wrong with these people? Listen to the way they're talking about the Late Night Grin podcast. But, Caden said to me a couple of weeks ago, he goes, I have a meeting with Jack to discuss media. I thought, God, I love Jack so much, man. Like, because I love you, Caden Lee, but it could have Jack could have just been like, I can't do that, right?
Yeah.
But he did it, because of course he did.
In all seriousness, Jack is legitimately the most sincere person
yes.
that we have.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually the nicest person on anybody on this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's awesome, dude.
Like, by far. Like, because, I mean, I'm a jackass. We're all jackasses.
Real pricks.
Yeah. Jack is literally like, he'll like go into like deep sincerity, like every time he comes on the show, where like the rest of us were like, laugh out loud. He's legitimately the only like fully genuine person on this show.
Yeah. He is without question the nicest Republican that I've ever met in my life.
There goes that sincerity. Wonderful stuff. Do we have anything else to say about the great Jack Crosby? Because again, we give him a 6-minute video, to be fair. So,
by the way, and I know I'm not on these shows very much anymore, but from now on, when I am, please have 15-minute videos prepared so that I can take a break, because that fucking ruled.
It was awesome, right? Yeah. It was sweet, dude. I loved it.
I texted Joe in the middle of it. I was like, get us the fuck off the screen. Why are we?
Well, I didn't know, I didn't actually even click that one either. I just hit that, and that's the default one, so I didn't want to fuck with it,
Yeah, I know. I was like, I was going to change it myself, and I was like, well, maybe he did it on purpose. That's why I texted you.
No.
And I was like, I don't want to fucking have to.
I wanted to have 3 Joe Holberts on the screen at the same time.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been waiting to do that for years, dude. Like, it's been a big thing for me. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. That does it for us, folks. That is your first
one of the shortest episodes of the flagship we've ever done.
I just want to. I mean, that's magical. Royce, man, what was the emotions as you put that together right there? I mean, that's very powerful imagery,
Couldn't even see the screen. Just tears running down my face, eyes watering. Barely could see the gold, but yeah, I did want to just note, since I'm the only person who hasn't thrown any love Jack's way on the screen, and I've only interacted with him indirectly, but like Oracle said, he's very sincere, and that comes across like through the screen, like immensely, like almost to a fault sometimes when you guys are doing bits and it's just right over his head, but he's still just driving home. But yeah, he's a great father off, like behind the scenes, off the screen. He's a founding father of LNG, and as you can see, he's an incredible uncle to the young guns. So like, well deserved. If anybody deserves it, it's Jack Crosby.
There was never even like, it was, I think, 2 or 3 months ago, I had the idea for the Hall of Fame, and I remember texting Matt, like, we'll do Jack. Jack's going to go in for the Hall of Fame. And then it was just, the rest of this was all just, it was just, delaying the inevitable of Jack Crosby, to be honest with you. But we hope you enjoyed this, folks. It's a very silly deal, but I think it worked out to be pretty fun. All right, let's do some final words, do some plugs and get on out of here, boys. There's no reason to, let's get on out of here. Buster, tell the people about the Grats podcast, things of that nature. And if you have any final words for the audience on this glorious occasion, now's the time, boss. Go for it.
No show this weekend. Next weekend we'll have Pure Time Capsule. And as far as, just what a wonderful night. It's nights like this where I'm just like unironically very grateful to be a part of this platform. Sick as hell. Yeah, just very, very happy to be here.
We are very happy you're here, Brainbuster. Very, very happy. And I know the audience is. You're a Golden Grinny winner, after all.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I love you,
That's
Buster.
fair.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Brainbuster has been a spectacular part of the late night grin. Speaking of spectacular, Rice Man, we have to stress this again. We have these ideas, but seriously, it does so much to bring the show together, to dress the show up. The fact that we can tweet out a clip like that, a graphic like that. Tope, obviously, is the man also. We can tweet that stuff out, and people that never see our show see it and go, that's actually pretty cool. So it really is very, very awesome, and we're very thankful for it, right? So anything you'd like to say, and also please plug your YouTube channel.
Yeah, first and foremost, just shout out Big Tope, because I'm on screen, so I can soak in a lot of the love that everyone's given, especially in the chat and from you fellas. But Tope has done a lot of the grunt work there, and he deserves, if not more, accreditation for it, because he 100% killed it, and he always does when you guys give him an assignment. So shout out Tope. For me personally, you can find me on my YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure Joe's got it linked here as a friend of Late Night Grin. We'll have some type of movie stuff coming soon. Waiting on some portable mics to come in so I can hit the format how I wanted to do originally. But
oh baby,
are you gonna go to the movie theater and just record while you're in there with portable microphones?
yeah, I'm just bringing a camera and the mic, just illegally powered in the movies. yeah. But yeah,
Can you imagine you're just sitting in a movie and there's a dude back in the back doing a fucking podcast?
Happened to me, dude. It wasn't a podcast. It wasn't a podcast. The other day, there was like 4 of us in the cinema. We saw, my friend and I saw Presents, and a girl walked in 10 minutes in, sat down, and just immediately, filming like this, like above her head. Filming. She was sitting right in front of us, and I was going to my friend, I was going, she's filming, what is going on? And then she would stop, put it down, and then she pulled out like a sub, and then she did it again. It was crazy. He's watching the show, so if he's in the chat, he can vouch, but it was crazy.
What you should have done is just started randomly saying like nightgrin.com out loud.
But Rice, we need to run it back sometime on your channel, bro. We need to.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't keep you 4 hours next time.
No, we'll do 5 next time.
All right.
You learn. Like, it took me like 4 years in this podcast to learn brevity. It takes time, It's a slow journey. We're about to go out for like 150, dude. This is glory. I'm gonna be fresh after this. It's great. Confirm shoot.
Hello.
Any final words and anything to plug, mate?
This was a great night. Jack's little thing, but Jack's video kind of really.
He got you back there. That was good shit, Buster.
Yeah, he did. This is a pretty cool thing that we've built, and you guys have built, because we really don't deserve credit for it. But yeah, man, like I know I'm not on here as much as I used to be, but Late Night Grin's always going to be a big part of my life, and it's really cool. Even if look, us having a Hall of Fame is fucking bullshit. But,
it's so silly, man. It's ridiculous, man.
But look, we've built something here, and it's pretty cool. So, getting back away from sappy nonsense, Joe and I have solved our money dispute, so we will be back on Tuesday for WCW Lives. We apologize for missing this week. I was holding out for more money.
Double header too, right? We're gonna put
we're gonna try to get Nitro and the Clash in one episode. So yeah, but who knows? I may decide to spend the first half hour talking about John Moxley get nails in his back and what that means for the future of wrestling, and whether AEW's
I
gone
hope
too
not.
far, and whether WWE is family friendly entertainment. I'll stop now.
Did you see LaGreca was pro the spike? Did you see that?
I did not. That's
very passionate about it. Yeah.
Did you see Bubba Ray Dudley thinks that Tony Khan should get off Twitter and stop booking for his Twitter fans, which was a good take from a WWE employee. Anyway, Bob, Bob, do you have any final words?
Bubba Ray Dudley fucking targeting here on the Late Night Grin.
I thought you said Bobby Ray Dudley. Sorry.
Didn't I say that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
No, this was a hell of a time. Just kind of what everyone said. Everyone on the screen has done a great job. Everyone in the chat rules. Yeah, just
not everyone.
Well, yeah,
most of you.
And Bob, if they hit the like button twice, then it's a pretty important step for them now, right?
Yeah, that's the third time, so that's not a number. You go ahead and smash the like button one more time.
That reminds me, Bob. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
that reminds me. Next week, folks, make sure you're here. We're gonna ask some trivia. Whoever in the chat finishes the best is gonna win $620 from Bob O'Neill.
Yeah, we finally pulling the trigger on that one. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Win Bob's money.
There you go.
We should actually do that, Bob, but just give him like $5.
What if Bob had like a solo show where it's like McMahon's Millions? Remember that deal? Who he had the big, Bob, how do you feel about that idea?
Well, it was a really bad idea when they did it. It would probably be an even worse idea to do it now for a lot of reasons. So probably not.
What if we ended it with something falling on you, though?
There we go.
Yeah. Saying that you can't feel your legs.
The fan falls on him.
What does he say? What does he say in that deal?
Paul, I can't feel it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be Bob's worst Vince tribute spot. He had the mustachio that one time. It was very sad.
Win Bob's bucks.
Oh.
Bob.
Alliteration.
Rice, man, get some graphics going.
Rice is already seeing the graphics. He's got it. We may now have to figure out a way to like work that and actually do it. I feel that's just the graphic is too money, and we can steal a week.
Too money?
No, we can still we like. I didn't realize what you said, and then I put it together. It's late here, We're in the constant pursuit of shows we can do that are not like, let's discuss, just broadly talking about around wrestling. That's our plan here. Caden Lee, what's the latest, brother? Anything you'd like to plug, and any final words also?
Yeah, Joe, I've decided I'm going to get writing on this Substack about wrestling, and I had to think for a little bit about the first match I'm going to cover, and I'm going to review Kazuchika Okada versus Brody King. I think it's a fantastic match, very controversial. But in all seriousness, I joined the Grin about 5 months ago. It just turned midnight 7 months ago. The clock just turned to midnight, so now I'm a day closer to that, my 7-month anniversary. But I appreciate being able to be on here. I've talked about it a few times about how the last few months have been since graduating college and being jobless have been not the greatest. So being able to come on here as a distraction and doing something fun has been awesome. Everybody here is fantastic. I think we truly do some awesome shit, and I'm proud of everybody.
So you can see Caden Lee's a true Grinner because he felt himself getting sappy and he said, I'm going to put us over instead. So we do some good shit here, boys. We'll pat ourselves on the back. Good stuff, Caden Lee. True pro.
I'm going to be honest that we've done this entire show, and the funniest thing that's happened this entire night is Novi's reaction when Caden said he was starting the Substack.
I didn't see it. I have to rewatch that. That's the thing with Novi's performance. You have rewatchability on this one, right? You got to run it back. Novi cam. Beautiful stuff. Novi, go for it, mate. Get your final word in here and do some plugs, boss.
Man, I'm really sorry.
Who did that? Come on. Sorry. It's been such a wholesome.
Sorry.
Go on.
I was about to be so kind. Look, I'm really the mobile setup didn't work out how I wanted it to. Rather unfortunate. But as some of you may know, I was desperate to be on the show. I worked through every single means possible.
You did. Still are, in
and
fact.
I still need to try to find a new one. It seems.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful to be on the show. So, hey, thanks, guys. I'm glad to be rewatchable. It's the first time ever.
Thank you, Novi. What a performance. Remarkable stuff. The Oracle of Wrestling, any final words to take us home, mate?
Yeah, I'm not going to be sappy. I'm just going to say that, I'd say about 40, at least 40% of the time. Let's be honest, probably 50% of the time, I come on here when I don't even want to be on here. But I do it because you guys are my friends. So that's about as sappy as I'm going to get. But we've had a great time tonight. On Tuesday, see, time to promote now. On Tuesday, the 25th of March, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Grin Grappler Booker T. That will follow WCW Lives, I believe.
Oh, baby. Yes, sir.
Next Friday, March 28th, WrestleMania 15. Grin along here on the flagship. There is a Sakura Genesis Grin along. Is that next? Is that the following Friday?
Yes, sir.
Late, right?
Yeah,
Late, be like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And that'll be Friday Friday the 4th of April going into the 5th of April.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it should be like, I think it's the exact same time as the New Japan Cup Grin along. Unless like time, I don't know if time changes in that few weeks, but should be the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're gonna have School of Wrestling sometime soon.
Next weekend, probably, right?
Yeah, next weekend, probably. Young Guns, if we can aim for the 30th.
Yeah, Sunday.
But yeah, Sunday the 30th, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
Sweet.
we can move it around.
Beautiful.
I'm pretty sure I'm available.
I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
That should be good.
All right. Tremendous stuff, folks. You heard the man. Next Friday, we're going to be back with a WrestleMania 15 Grin along for some reason. It should be a hell of a time. It's the anniversary, I believe, of an infamous WrestleMania, so it should be very fun. That is next Friday's flagship. Booker T. Oracle's got it covered. He knows what's going on here. We really hope you've enjoyed this, folks. It's been very, very fun. There they are, the Titans, the famed, iconic inductees of the very first LNG Hall of Fame class. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Bobby give you some great tips throughout the night how to do that. Leave a comment. That helps us out. But more important than any of that, have a great weekend. Keep grinning, and enjoy this outro. Goodbye, folks.